Now that our utilities are installed, we're going to create a backup of our original cell library or libraries that we want to modify. We're going to verify that no civil model is present, and then we're going to proceed with our conversions. So to get started, let's go ahead and back up our file. And so I'm going to be working on the drainage and utility cell library that we deliver. So what I did was I went ahead and zipped that up. And so I have a backup of the original. Make sure that you're not doing this without a backup, just in case you need to revert back. Sometimes things happen. So we're going to go ahead then and open up that cell library. And in the key-in, we're going to run the key-in civil display browser and make sure that it just has the word root in there. If there's anything else in there, you would want to follow the steps shown in prior videos of downgrading this file to remove the civil model. And so now that we know there's no civil model in here, we can then proceed with our utility conversions. And then I want to go ahead and run the key-in scale models space start. So we're going to run this utility first. And this will not actually update our solids areas. So that's why we're kind of having to do this in 2 steps. This will show you the breakdown of each of the different sets of units of resolution in your cell library. So we're going to do this one file at a time. So we're going to start out and just pick one. If I need to go from a resolution of 1,000 to a resolution of 10,000, we'll go ahead and set our master and sub units. And we're going to set this to international feet. And I'll put in my single tick there. And then we'll put in our double quote here. You can set your accuracy, turn on your triad. And on this scale, because we're going from 1,000 to 10,000, we need a scale factor of 10. And so this will take us over and basically move this one over to this group. Now this one will be really fast because it only has 1 entry. So we'll go ahead and run that. And that one is done. And now you'll see we have 1 less entry to work with. Next, what I'm going to do is our metric one. And all of the settings here are going to be the same with the exception of the scale. So what's our scale going to be in this situation? Well, if we know for an international foot is 0.3048 exactly in terms of meters. And so if we take 1 divided by 0.3048, that gives us our scale factor to use. And so that's going to be 3.2808 and then 39895. All right, so we can put that in for a scale factor and we can go ahead and apply that. And this will be pretty quick because there's only 18 models to modify. And that is completed. And if I wanted to actually go in and just do a quick check here on this one, because we know this one was one of the metric ones, if I measure that, that measures properly at 1.05 feet. So it has been converted and it has been scaled and everything still looks correct. Then we have one last group. We're going to do our US survey feet. And when we go from US survey feet to international feet, our scale factor here is going to be 1 and then 5 zeros. And then the number 2. And that is our exact conversion to go from survey feet to international foot. And so we will go ahead and apply that. Now this will take several minutes, and so I'm going to pause the video for it to complete. Now that that's completed, we can go ahead and close this dialog, and you can see that now all of the models are in international feet and all are scaled appropriately. Now we're going to jump over to the Ohio utility and process that one. And the only thing we're going to do here is change the solids area to a value of 10. And you might want to go ahead and close and open OpenRoads Designer before you run this exercise, just because this is a very memory intensive application. Both of them are. And so you might want to go ahead and do that. You can turn off to include the non-index models, which are dynamic profile views. We wouldn't have that situation here. So once you've restarted, you've got your solids area set to 10, then go ahead and apply and let that process. So I'll pause the video for just a moment while that does. You may be tempted just to use the Ohio utility to go ahead and change everything and also do your scaling. I will say that for 3D cells for drainage and utilities, anything that has parametric solids will the cell will become messed up. So that's why I used both different utilities. You can use this utility by itself for most of your other cell libraries that just have 2D graphics. It'll be fine, or no parametric solids. But any cells that have parametric solids in them, this utility is not going to work for that. So that's just a word of caution. Now that that is complete, then you'll want to go ahead and complete the same process then for all of your other cell libraries, getting them all of the models over to International Foot and scaled appropriately, and the solids area set to 10.